Hi, welcome to Talk Back Live, a show that gets you involved in live conversation and sports with Brian Camp on Sports Update, bringing you the latest developments in today's world of sports. And now here's your host, Frank Allan.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a pleasant night to each and every one of you in your different time zones around the world and across the country. Welcome once again, another Thursday. We're coming from New York live. That's where we originate. And we're here for another edition of Talk Back Live. And of course, we're going to be here for the whole hour. Thank you so much for being along with us. The time right now, let's see, what do we have? Okay, it's 8 p.m. on the East Coast, 5 p.m. on the West Coast. It's Friday morning in London at 1 a.m., also Friday morning in Tokyo, Japan. And of course, it's 9 a.m. over there, and we're ready to go. They're ready to go. They're getting ready for work, and they're already into their Friday, and we just have to struggle to get to ours, right? We'll get there, though. We're so glad to have you aboard with us. We're going to be here, as I said, for a whole hour. And within that hour, we're going to do a lot of talking, and we're going to have a lot of fun. And we do the usual, because those of you who have been here with us from the beginning, you already know the protocol. Let me speak for my friends who are just joining us for the very first time. They're what they call newbies. I don't even know if the kids say that word anymore, newbies. But if you're new, here's how we work it. Every Thursday night at this time, we come on, look at your clock. And whatever you see on your clock, that's what time we come on in your area. We're on Eastern, so it's after 8 p.m. Eastern here in New York City. And what we do as I start the program as the host, get a topic going, and you could help get a topic going too. All you have to do is look at your keyboard, right? Now you may be watching on your computer, you may be watching on your cell phone, or maybe even your tablet. It has keys on it, right? Just type whatever you want to say, and I will see you right there on the big screen. I will be able to talk to you as you talk to me. And of course, if you have any questions or anything like that, or just general conversation, or even if you just want to say hello, just casually, that's okay too. We would love to hear from you. And once I see you on the big screen, we'll get all that information going, whatever information you want to talk about. Now, if there's anything that you want to talk about in particular, we don't mind. Just let us know, or just throw a topic out there. We'll address it right there as one by one, as many as we can, and we'll get conversation going. And those of you who are watching us for the very first time, understand something, that we're coming from 3 different areas. We're live on Facebook, we're also on YouTube, we're also on Instagram. So any one of those mediums that you like, just pick your choice and you'll get a chance to see us anyway. So there we go. Well, those 3 places. Now, if you're watching us on Facebook, this is what I want you to do. You can tag this show right now to all of your friends. It just doesn't take that long. Just tag them, right? When they see that tag, they'll know it's coming from you. They'll click onto it, and guess what? It brings them right directly to us. They'll see you, they'll see me, and everyone else that's here. And of course, we can still get conversation going right there. Now, if you're watching us on YouTube, as I always do, I urge you to just click onto our YouTube channel. Once you get onto the YouTube channel, just subscribe to us. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's very important to us. It brings a lot of people in. And of course, when you subscribe to the YouTube channel, it'll give you a chance to know whenever we come on live, or if we are so much post a video of some sort, it will pop right up as a reminder that the show is on the air, or we just popped up, or we just put on a video and you get a chance to watch it. All you have to do is click onto that reminder right there, and it will bring you directly to the YouTube channel. And you can see us, because a lot of people, when they watch the show, sometimes they may forget the following week. And if they're online, and if you subscribe to us, you won't miss it, because as soon as we get online, it'll pop right up there. You'll see us. And all you have to do is just click on to that notification, and it brings you right here. And for the rest of you guys who are watching us on Instagram, all you have to do is just continue to follow us. Just follow us. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell everyone you know, and get them involved in the show as much as you can. It would be great for you to do that. And we would love to have you aboard, your uncles, your aunts, your daughters, or whatever. And it'll be great. So thank you guys for being along with us. We're going to take it up to the top of the hour as usual. And along with what we do here, interact with you, we have sports coming. We have a routine going on as well. And we're going to have sports coming along. Brian Camp, and we're going to link up with him out of Charlotte, North Carolina. So you can get a chance to see him, providing you're watching us on either YouTube or Instagram, not Instagram, but YouTube or Facebook, because on Instagram, we're really not set up that way. So you'll get a chance to see him. You'll get a chance to hear him, but you won't get a chance to see him. But for the rest of you guys who are watching us on Facebook and YouTube, you'll get a chance to see him. He will be right there on the screen. And if you have any particular question about sports or what's happening in sports, you can ask him, you can talk to him, as I said, talk to everyone else here. And of course, you'll get a chance to do that. Okay, so there you have it. And again, 1 hour, 1 full hour each week. Remember that all of the views and the opinions expressed on this show, Talk Back Live, does not necessarily reflect the view or the opinions of the people of Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Zoom, any other social media broadcast facility. So there you have it. And I want to say a pleasant hello to Eloise Moroney out there. And thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for coming in, for saying hi to me, Eloise. Haven't seen you in a long time. We've got to get together somehow. And so there you go. And again, sports coming up. Oh, also, I didn't mention also, we have another feature that we have later on in the program. We have what we call This Day in History. So we have a lot of things that we want to convey to you on what happened on this day in history. You know, that's something that we do each week as well. This Day in History, that's coming up. And later on, before the show is over, I also give you those movies that you like so much. Of course, those Turner Classic Movies. And they're always my picks of the week for your weekend. Now, a lot of you who indulge in a lot of things on the weekend, maybe one of the things you might want to do is catch up on some movies. Now, who knows, maybe where you are when the weekend comes around, maybe weather-wise, the weekend won't be that good. It keeps you indoors. That'll be a good time to check out some movies, right? And so I have my picks of the week, and that's coming up later on in the program. So again, thank each and every one of you for being here. And let's get things rolling right away. And while we're waiting for Brian, we'll get things rolling right away. You know, the summertime is practically over. You know, it just seems to come and go, right? And it goes so quickly. As a matter of fact, here we are in the middle of August. We're getting ready to reach September pretty soon. And in September, of course, you know, we have the Labor Day holiday weekend coming up, which will make it the unofficial end of summer. All right. And before you know it, September, I think a week after September, the kids are back in school. So you got them ready. I'm pretty sure all the parents are waiting around for that, and they can sing that that Christmas jingle early. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Right. You got the kids out. They enjoyed the summer, and now it's your time. So they're going to be doing that. And before you know it, the cold weather is going to be setting in. And then later on, come November, we have all of those major holidays coming on. I don't want to push it. I don't want to go too fast about it, because what I want to do right now is just remain in the summer realm right here. And I just want to savor the moments for what we have in the summer. We had our share of summer. We had the heat wave going on, some intense heat waves all around the world, all around the country, right? And to a point where, you know, you get some of those, especially out in California, you get some of those fires. I understand just a couple of days ago, they had a wildfire in California. I can't remember exactly where in California, but, you know, I think that's like a normal thing, because they're around desert and shrubbery and all of that. And so they had, you know, a little of that there going on. And of course, you guys remember when we had that wildfire coming out of Canada, and that kind of hit all of us, that smoke that came all over past the United States, coming right through the United States, and affected all of us. And I got to tell you, we had it worse I think New York had the worst hit of it. I mean, it was so intense. As you remember, just bringing it back, I hope it never happens again. But I remember that day very well, when it was just so much smoke in the air, where normally what you see out your window, it wasn't there. It was just that thick. And then then it turned orange, and then, you know, the smoke was so intense, even with the windows closed, you could smell the smoke. But that was past tense. We hope that never happens again. And speaking of fire, you know, we want to send our prayers out to our people our friends in Hawaii. Of course, the Hawaiian officials are prepared, and they're still preparing for more deaths. There are over 100 at this point as we speak, over 100 deaths, and the toll just keeps going up. It's going to go up. It's out there in Maui, Hawaii, and it just keeps going up. And you know, I've seen the images on TV, on the news, where, you know, the houses destroyed. There was one particular church that was up there for like a couple of 100 years, and that was torn down, you know, and that had to be heartbreaking to have like a shrine or something like that. That's a landmark for many, many years, and all of a sudden turned down because they had the before and after. They showed the before and after picture. The church was built up, nice looking, nice looking church, and the after, where it was just nothing but a skeleton of a church. And so that's what they're experiencing right now. And so again, we send our prayers. It's easy to say that, guy, because you know, a lot of people are not affected that way, but it's easy to say, you know, keep our prayers open to these people, but we don't know what these people are going through. A lot of these people are angry because right through this whole fiasco, the people were angry because they didn't get any warnings. No police cars came by, no sirens, no nothing, no notification on their cell phones, emergency notification. It was hard for them to get water. They needed water. When that fire in the beginning, when it all happened, people were around that area where, you know, the fire was on the ground, you know, as opposed to, you know, in the mountains, right? It was on the ground, and people's houses were going, they were going all over. It was just terrible. And so people are still suffering, that people have to be evacuated from their houses. Some people have no place to go. It just leaves them homeless. So, you know, we already keep that in mind. But when the toll goes up, as it goes up, as the progress goes up, and hopefully we'll have more and maybe even more of a progress information on that situation, maybe tomorrow morning when we come on the coffee hour, we'll see about that. But just keep all of that open. Clarence Avant, often known as the godfather of Black entertainment, died last Sunday at his home in Los Angeles, California. Clarence Avant, who decades of trailblazing, worked as an artist manager, mentor, executive, and record company owner, a record label owner. And he worked with the likes of Sarah Vaughan, Freddie Hubbard, Little Willie John, Jimmy Smith, Creed Taylor, Bill Withers, Quincy Jones, and countless of other artists. And Avant was 92 years old. We want to send our condolences out to his family and friends. And of course, we all knew of him. If we didn't know him, because he was a big giant in the music industry. And so we want to send our condolences out to his family, friends, and his closest friends, and all of us who knew him and loved him. If you're just joining us just this very moment, it's the Talk Back Live. It's Talk Back Live. That's where we are. And we're going to be here, of course, to the top of the hour. And we're just minutes away from Brian Camp. We're going to be talking to him in a few minutes. But I want to talk about some local news to people here in New York. Okay, you guys, all of you guys around the world can listen to what I'm saying, you know. But I just wanted to bring this out, and this is going to be the last time I'll be talking about it on this show, because the occurrence is going to happen on this Sunday, on August 20th. The fare hike for transit for the MTA is going up. Did you know that? You didn't know anything about that? They didn't make a lot of noise about it, you know, and that's exactly why each week, while it's fresh here, we want to give you that information. For those of you who are the rest of you guys, you don't have to worry about it. It doesn't concern you, but you know, listen, I'm pretty sure if you have mass transit in your area, of course, the fare is going to go up. Nothing stays low forever. Because I can remember when the subways was only 15 cents. I remember that very well. But this is how it goes. On this Sunday, the fare hike goes up on the subways, the buses, and commuter rails. And the toll increase, of course, happened already, the 6th of August, and you probably discovered, if you're a driver, you know, all of the bridges and the tunnels, they went up. And this coming Sunday, that $2.75 will be the thing of the past, is going to go up to $2.90. That's the fare hike for Transit Authority. Now, if you are a purchaser of the 7-day ticket, that goes up 3%. So it's going to go up to $34, right? $34 for the 7-day pass. For the 30-day pass, it's going to raise 4%. So that's going to go up to $132. All of this is taking place this Sunday. And for the express buses, starting on Sunday, it goes up to $7. You're paying $6.75. Enjoy that ride until the weekend, right? It's going to go up to an even $7. And of course, the 7-day express bus for the whole ticket of, I think it's a monthly ticket, the express bus. I think it's a monthly ticket for $64 to go up to $64. If you purchase like the monthly kind of a thing, it's like $64 or something like that. But it's a lot of money. You have to go deeper into your pockets now just to get a ride on the buses and subways, right? Anyway, the toll hikes on the Easy Pass, it went up to 6%. You already know that. I don't have to talk about this because it's already an express. The Easy Pass went up to 6%. And for the mail at home credit card payments, that went up to 10%. Now, of course, you have time. If you want to get more information about it, please go onto the website. They have a website, and that's new.mta.info. That's new.mta.info. For more information, I'm talking too fast about it. You know, I have to keep time going here. And the telephone number is 877-690-5116. Again, that's 877-690-5116. So there you have it. Okay, you're just joining us. I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad that you took the time to be with us. And we hope that you stay with us, if not for a whole full hour, at least whatever time you can spare with us. We would love to have you aboard with us, and we treasure the time you spare with us. So if you can't spend the whole time with us, at least, whatever time you can spare with us, we really appreciate that. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to move on right now, because right now, I got a man who's seen most of the world over his vacation. He's back from vacation right now. And so, we're going to bring him on. He's coming live. We're going to Charlotte, North Carolina. And it's Brian Camp with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. So here he is. And Brian, before you do the sports, right, you got to give us the dope on what happened on your vacation. I know you had a lot of fun. You're gonna make me angry because I wish I was there. But anyway, how's it going?
Well, I'll say this. A lot of people like to hang out in the bars. Some like to hang out by the pool. Some like to hang out elsewhere. I personally hung out in the casinos. Okay, that's where I was at. I'll just say this. I broke even in playing 21 blackjack, but my wife was able to get us two free cruises. I don't know how she do it, but she's a whiz at it. In some cases, it's not how much you win, it's how long you sit at the slots. Now, it's different. You have a better chance of winning a cruise or money at the slots than you do sitting down at the table and playing blackjack. So she had better success than me. Overall, the cruise was great. Honduras is nice. The Bahamas is excellent. I will say this, the Bahamas is excellent. They was playing some terrific music, and Mexico was nice too. So overall, it was a success. My wife didn't really like the food too much. When you have different various of foods from different countries, like one night it was Caribbean night, next night was Indian night. Indian food, there's a lot of spice in it, so you gotta, if you could take hot spice stuff, you're fine. But it was great. I went in the pool, had fun. It was just great. Not only did I go in the pool, I even went into the sauna pool too. So it was nice. I enjoyed myself. It was great. I'm going to do it again too.
You didn't drink the water in Mexico, did you?
No, I had the ship water.
Okay.
I had the water from the ship. They had plenty of water on land in Mexico, but I don't drink water outside of any country. I know Mexico has a reputation of, you could get sick off of Mexico water, but
Well,
other than that, it was great.
well, the people who live in Mexico, I'm pretty sure, I mean, they're used to drinking that water, so they drink the water. It's just that if people from Mexico are used to drinking that kind of water and they come to New York, they're going to get sick. We drink the garbage here. We drink the garbage here. Well, some of us drink the garbage here because most people I know drink bottled water now, But the water here, that we drink the water, the tap water here, it won't bother us because we've been.
Well, growing up, we used to drink water from the fire hydrant, and we used to call it the Johnny Pump when it be hot outside, and you put on that water. We wait for the cops, the cops would come by, and they close it up. But there's always somebody in the group that had a wrench, just like a firefighter or a police officer. We wait till they leave out of respect. Okay, officer, see you later, goodbye. We get one of the guys, put on the water, we'd be having fun. That was great times. But the cruise was nice. And we go on again sometime in October again, also. It's one of the free cruises. So it was great. 2025, we're looking for a European cruise coming up. So let's see what happens. Yep. So lots of fun. The weather was nice. Hope the weather back here in the States was nice. I know in Charlotte it was hot. I know in New York it was hot. Periods of rain in New York as well too, but that's all over. I know that there was some blackouts in the area of Charlotte. I was worried about my fishies in the fish tank, because once that goes out, you gotta cross your fingers. So I had some neighbors to look in and make sure that everything was okay. Great cruise, great vacation, great time to get away. Yes. Thank you for asking.
I'm certainly glad I'm certainly glad to have you back, though.
Yes.
Sound that's great.
Yes. Got back on Sunday and dropped off my granddaughter.
Yeah, you told me about that. You took your granddaughter.
Yeah.
And you stopped in New York because I had a chance to see you.
Yes, stopped by in New York to see the rest of the grandkids and two of my kids, and of course to see you. I could not leave New York without seeing you, and so it was great. Had tons of fun, and hopefully, we'll do this again soon. Hopefully, I can see you. Not just only coming in for to drop off a family member to see you, but just to see more of you and everything, and just have great time, and with you and everybody else. New York will always be home, but sometimes it's got to get back home to Charlotte, to the Queen City of Charlotte, North Carolina, where it's 82 degrees right now. After a pleasant day here in the Queen City, everybody enjoying themselves here today, weather, and just everybody is just enjoying themselves here. Everybody, nothing's changed, and that's basically it. But while I was away, some sports news. Hall of Famer New York Yankee Derek Jeter will attend Old Timers Day at Yankee Stadium. Yes, Old Timers Day. This will be the first time he'll be first time since his retirement that he'll be at Old Timers Day since retirement. He's going to be honoring the 25th anniversary of the team's 1998 World Series championship. That was 25 years ago. Team on September 9th. And Jeter is 49 years old. He won 5 World Series championships with the Yankees from 1995 to 2014. And his number 2 uniform number was retired in 2017. He was voted to the Hall of Fame in 2020. And Hall of Famers also, Mariano Rivera, manager Joe Torre will be there along with Andy Pettit, Jose Basada, and Tito Martinez, and Paul O'Neill will also attend Old Timers Day coming up September 9th. So hope that you all tune in, or if you're in the New York area, try to get tickets. It's going to be hard. Might be sold out. In the NBA, Doris Burke will become the first woman to serve as a game analysis on television for the championship final in one of the 4 major sports in the U.S. sports league. ESPN announced that Burke and Doc Rivers will join Mike Breen, who does the play-by-play on ESPN and ABC, be top of the NBA broadcast crew. As you know, ESPN had some financial cuts. They got rid of many well-known announcers and personnel at ESPN. They are owned by Walt Disney. She also called the finals on ESPN Radio since 2020 and has been an analyst on ESPN NBA games since 2017. So congratulations to them, I should say, and to Doc Rivers for being on this special assignment. In the NFL, the Dallas Cowboys tops the list of most valuable sports franchise. The Cowboys tops the scale of $9.2 billion. That's $1.5 billion ahead of the Golden State Warriors in the NBA and $7.5 billion ahead of the New York Yankees, is third at $7.13 billion. So the Yankees are like, I believe they are third. Yes, they are third richest franchise in all of professional sports. This day in sports, 1920, New York Yankees canceled a game with the Cleveland Indians in memory of Roy Chapman, who died after being hit by a pitch. This was a previous game, and they had canceled the game in his memory because he had died by being hit. 1933, Major League Baseball, Lou Gehrig plays a record 1,308th consecutive game. 1950, Pee Wee Reese, yes, Brooklyn Dodgers, LA Dodger, and Sam Calderon of the Giants hit inside the park's home runs. They did this in the same game. First time that ever happened that I know of two players from each one from different teams to hit an inside the park home run. 1957, Richie Asper fouls and hits Alice Roth not once, but two times in the same game at bat. What happened was he hit a foul ball, he breaks her nose, and while she was put on the stretcher, he hit again with another foul ball. You can't make this up. Two foul balls, broke her nose. After a while, they put her on a stretcher. He fouls another pitch off and hit her while she was on the stretcher. She did survive. Yes, she did survive. Thank goodness. But that's unbelievable. 1966, Willie Mays takes second place on the all-time home run list. 1984, Pete Rose returned to the Cincinnati Reds as player manager and gets 2 hits. In 1987, Muhammad Ali elected to Ring, that's a magazine, to the Boxing Hall of Fame. Birthdays, 1941, Boone Powell, Major League Baseball player for the Baltimore Orioles, was born in Lakefield, Florida. 1968, Ed McCaffrey, NFL wide receiver, was born in Waynesboro, Pennsylvania. 1969, Christian Laettner, NBA forward center, born in Angola, New York. 1971, what's his name? Oh, the Yankees. Yohan Posada, Major League catcher, five-time World Series champion, was born in San Juan, Puerto Rico. 1984, D. Brown, NBA guard, born in Jackson, Mississippi. And in 1986, Rudy Gay, NBA guard, was born in Brooklyn, New York. And ladies and gentlemen, that is sports on a busy, warm day here in the Queen City of Charlotte, North Carolina.
You feeling a little jet lag by any chance?
No, a little stuffy of the nose, little congested, but no jet lag. I don't like to go up and down, so I always take a direct flight.
Yeah, okay. Well, I can't believe that Derek Jeter is 49 years old. That's hard to believe.
49 years old.
Because that makes me feel so old, because I remember when he came up with the Yankees, he was about 23 years old, something like that?
Something like that. He came in 1990.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, that's right.
It only seemed like yesterday. I never forget when he came up. He was a phenomenal. And when he retired, I'm thinking to myself, when he announced his retirement, I said, wow, what, so early? and not realizing that he was like actually doing it for a long time,
Yeah.
But he made his good choices. But I can't. But now he's caught. Now he's an old timer. 49. He'll be 50 years old. I get what next year or so. This year, I don't know.
Yeah, he's young. He's still a young guy, no matter how you look at it.
He's still, but he did everything right. His life went very well. He did everything right. I would imagine that he's handling his money real well. He played most of his playing. As a matter of fact, I think his whole playing days, he was single his whole playing days. I don't think it was until after he retired, then that's when he got married, I think. Wasn't it like that? I think
he got married and then he had children, yes. He became owner of the Miami Marlins baseball team.
Exactly. And he doesn't have to worry about going on the road. He just raises children, because like a lot of these ball players, they already have families. They had families when they were real young, and they go out the road. They don't get a chance to see him. And what comes to mind is Thurman Munson, man. He was like he was real dedicated to his family, and he went on the road, but he couldn't wait to get back. And that's why he got himself a plane. That's why he got himself.
Yeah, what he was, that was August 2nd was the anniversary of his death that just passed. He bought a plane, so off days he could fly back home.
Yeah.
And come back. Yeah.
Yeah. Because he loved his family. He really loved his family. Well, you will be here tomorrow, right?
Be here tomorrow, yes.
Do you realize remember a long time ago when we used to broadcast live from location? When we started the show, we used to do that. We used to broadcast live from location. And I just brought that up just to say that if weather permitting, because sometimes you don't want to trudge out there. If weather permitting, we're going to be broadcasting live tomorrow morning at Grand Central, lower level of Grand Central, in the dining concourse tomorrow morning. So
I'll be looking forward to that. Again, it would be great to be outdoors again. Yes.
Yeah. That's if weather's permitting. And the reason why I say if weather is permitting, because now they're looking for like some torrential rainfalls coming down tonight. We're going to get a lot of rain for tonight. And that's supposed to be dragging on right through the morning up until maybe noon. So I'll have to see. I'll have to play it by ear. If not, we'll be right back here in the studio. But it's like I look forward to it. But we'd be getting a lot of rain. The storms.
It's been raining a lot this summer, I see. Yeah.
I know that. And if we're not getting real hot weather, then we're getting storms. It's this summer, for some reason, the weather just didn't stay stable.
Right.
Yeah. And I thought about that because a lot of times I say, you want to make plans. Sometimes you make plans and those plans fail because you're thinking that the weather's going to be nice. Oh, they said early in the week the weather's going to be nice, and then later on, the weather comes back. The weather forecast saying we're going to get a lot of downpours, and it just screw up your plans. Nevertheless, whether it's out there live or in here, we're going to see you tomorrow morning.
That's right, because New Yorkers are very resilient. They will get on the air one way or the other.
That's right. Come hell or high water.
That's right. There you go.
Okay, we'll see you tomorrow morning.
All right, take care, everybody.
Okay, that's Brian Camp, ladies and gentlemen, with the latest developments in today's world of sports. He's with us. He just got back from vacation, so we're glad to have him back. And he's here every Thursday. And he'll be here tomorrow, too, as you already heard, tomorrow for his more of his sports and latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. And of course, you get a chance to see him again. If you have any questions, we can relay questions to him. Any questions about sports, of course, he has the answers. Of course, that's why he's here, because he has the answers. And we can do the same thing tomorrow. But yeah, so we're looking. We want to do that. We want to go back because I used to have fun doing that outdoors live, But it won't be outdoors. We won't be doing it outdoors. The truth of the matter is whether or not we want to trudge the cold that rain. We'll be indoors, so we won't get poured on. But whether or not, if the weather is that inclement, do you want to trudge going out there at that time? Listen, either way, we're going to be here. That's for sure. Okay, come this Sunday, with the fair hike and everything that's going on this Sunday in New York, here's something nationwide. And those of you who may not even care about this, but I just brought it up because I'm in the industry and have been in the industry for so long. But this Sunday, and those of you who are watching, who are colleagues or have been colleagues of mine, this Sunday is going to be National Radio Day. Da 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 da. I don't have any trumpets, so I'll ring a little bell there. National Radio Day. It's going to be National Radio Day. And I mention that because I know a lot of my friends, Jim Kerr and Eloise. I don't know if she's still out there. I worked with Eloise at WOR Radio back in the day. They could appreciate that. So it's radio. It's radio. It's all about radio. And I know it's Sunday, and you may not even care about it, but I just figure I just bring it out there. That's one of the things I like to do. I've been in radio for so many years, and I loved it, and I still love it. The only thing now is that radio is, of course, is not like what it used to be. For instance, these kids today, when they're out there watching TV. Yeah, they don't even know what a radio is. I mean, an actual radio, something that you can put on your desk or your tabletop or whatever. They don't know what a radio is because they're not listening to radios. All the music they're listening to is coming offline. That's what they're listening. They're not walking over to the kitchen table or their desk or anything and turn on their mom and dad's radio to turn it on. They don't know what that is, And radio programming has changed so much. It's just now, you got in conjunction with terrestrial radio, which I used to work terrestrial radio, and then internet radio, and then satellite radio. They have all of that. Of course, satellite radio, everybody knows about satellite radio, Sirius, XM Sirius radio. They were merged because they used to be a separate entity at one time. It was XM radio, and then there was Sirius radio, but now they combine everything. And while we're on the subject about radio, that just reminds me, keep my brothers and sisters in the union, my union brothers and sisters. I'm pro-union. I'm a union guy. SAG and AFTRA, you keep up the fight. Get what you want. Keep it going. Keep it going. I don't hear too much about it. Hopefully they'll come to some kind of agreement or something if they haven't since the time I've been on the air here. But the fight continues, the fight continues, It changed so much. I mean, imagery could be duplicated and they could use you one time, and for the rest of your life, you will be that image and they could make things out of you that you've never said or never done before. That's how quickly the industry changes, and that's how fast it's going. And maybe that's why a lot of people are not doing it anymore, doing it like they used to. They want to keep a lot of people like to keep the image of old time radio alive, but it just doesn't work that way anymore. It's over. What we had back then is over. They had analog radio, where back in those days, when you do editing, you use a razor blade and a splicing tape and all of that, all of those great things. I have the scars. I have my war scars on my fingers to prove that I've been there. But now everything is digital. The audio is digital, video is digital, everything is digital. And so you don't have to cut your fingers anymore. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, just in case you're just joining us once again, it's Talk Back Live. My name is Frank Allan, and of course, I'm going to be here to the top of the hour. And right now it's time for me to give you what they call On This Day in History. So let's get going with that right now. On This Day in History, 1939, the musical film Wizard of Oz, starring Judy Garland, Ray Bolger, Burt Lahr, and Jack Haley, along with Margaret Hamilton, opens at the Lowe's Capitol Theater in New York City. On this day in history, in 1940, FDR and Canadian Prime Minister William M. King agreed to a joint defense commission On this day in history, 1961, the Kennedy administration established Alliance for Progress. Back in 1969, the Woodstock Festival closes with Jimi Hendrix's Band of Gypsies as their final act. Other performers include Joe Cocker, Country Joe McDonald and the Fish, and also the band. And back in 1982, the first compact disc, which you know as the CD, was released to the public, and that was released in Germany first. Back in 1988, U.S. Republicans nominee George H.W. Bush for president. They nominated him for president. On this day in history, 1994, the New York Central Park Reservoir, officially named after Jackie Kennedy Onassis. In 2012, gay pride events are banned for a century in Moscow. Okay, Black nationalist Marcus Garvey was born on this day in 1887. He was born in St. Ann's Bay, Jamaica. He died June 10th in 1940 at the age of 52 years old. Actress Mae West, Come Up and See Me Sometime, was born on this day in 1893, and she was born in my hometown of Brooklyn, New York. She died November 22nd, 1980, at the age of 87 years old. In 1906, Hazel Bishop, you remember Hazel Bishop, right? She was an American chemist and cosmetic manufacturer. And she was born on this day in Hoboken, New Jersey. She died in 1998. Back in 1914, Franklin D. Roosevelt Jr., that's the junior, the son of FDR, was born in Campobello Island in New Brunswick, Canada, and he died in 1988. Actress Maureen O'Hara was born on this day in 1920 in Dublin, Ireland, and she died October 24th, 2015 at the age of 95 years old. She died from natural causes in her sleep. Actor Robert De Niro was born on this day in 1943 in New York City. He's 80 years old today. Also, Sean Penn was born on this day, actor Sean Penn. He was born in 1960 on this day in Santa Monica, California. He's 63 years old today. In 1962, actor Jack Lemmon weds actress and model Felicia Farr in Paris, France. In 1964, martial artist and actor Bruce Lee weds Linda Emery. In 2008, singer Phil Collins divorced Oriana, I believe her name is Sevi, Oriana Sevi, after 6 years of marriage. In 1973, Paul Williams of the Temptations commits suicide at the age of 32 years old. In 1979, actress Vivian Vance, who played Ethel Mertz in I Love Lucy, remember, she died of cancer at the age of 70 years old. Lyricist Ira Gershwin died on this day in 1983. He was 86 years old, and he was born December 6, 1896. He was born in New York City. In 1990, actress Pearl Bailey dies of a heart attack at the age of 72. And finally, in 2015, actress Yvonne Craig, she played Batgirl in The Adventures of Batman. She died at the age of 78 years old. That's this day in history, ladies and gentlemen. This day in history, if you know anything that's happening on this day in history, please, if I didn't mention it, maybe I didn't know about it, and you could help me out, I would appreciate that. I would be glad to do that. So just type it in, let your fingers do the walking right now. If you're on your computer, if you're on your telephone, your iPhone, your Android phone, or whatever it is. Or maybe your iPad, or even your what are the other devices they're using? Okay, tablets, right? They all have keyboards. Just type it in there, and I will see you. If you have anything that you want to talk about in particular, we're open. We're going to be here for a while. We're open, and we'll be here until the top of the hour. And those of you who do not want to participate in conversation, that's okay. It doesn't matter. Just as long as you're out there, that's all we care about, is just as long as you're out there. And because some people, they're shy a little bit, that's okay. And something, you can get in touch with me personally if you desire to, right? I have an email address and a telephone number. And if you're shy about doing it, you want to say hello to me, in that way, you can do that too. Okay, let's start with the email address. My email address is Frank Allan Prod. Allan is spelled A-L-L-A-N. That's a very important detail, because if you use E-N or I-N or any one of those, you'll never get through. That's Frank Allan, A-L-L-A-N. Frank Allan Prod. Prod is P-R-O-D. That's short for Productions. Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. That's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. Or you can call. The number is 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. You can get in touch with us either emailing or calling. And if there's a thing that you want to communicate to me about, that's okay. Maybe you want to know more about this show, or maybe you want to critique the show. That's okay. I'm open ears. I'm thick skinned. I can take it. I'm a big boy. We're all big boys and girls around here, so we can take it. All we ask is you be diplomatic about it, right? That's all we ask. And we listen. And maybe there's a certain thing that you want to see on the show, or you have an idea to help the show along. We really would appreciate that. We're open ears, and we would love to hear from you. We really would love to hear from you. That's the whole thing. We don't hear from you live here, which we love to, because we always like to address you personally. Like to see you out there and address you personally. We always like to do that. That's okay too. Again, so let me give that email address again. It's frankallanprod at AOL.com. That's frankallanprod at AOL.com. Telephone number, once again, is 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. We look forward to hearing you. I definitely look forward to hearing from each and every one of you. If I don't get a chance to talk to you live, of course, then. Okay, 345/666 Beast Incarnate. If you've been on this show long enough, we don't address him by the name that you guys address him. So if you're new to this show, just listen to what I have to say, and then you can figure it all out. All right, 345/666 Beast Incarnate, and 18 allies are charged in a Georgia election, meddling as 345/666 Beast Incarnate. Did you get it yet? Faces 4 criminal cases. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 criminal cases. 345/666 Beast Incarnate has been indicted for alleged efforts to overturn the presidential election in the state of Georgia. And so there you go. Now, I don't know of anyone that's been indicted, not even a common criminal has been indicted 4 times in succession. I mean, come on. Anyway, that's the whole idea. Okay, he's done that. He's there. And he has all of these other people. And as you already know, as Malcolm X used to say, chickens coming home to roost. Well, that's what's happening now. Things are starting to tighten up, and things like that are happening right now. So again, he's got 4, and he's facing 91 counts. 91 counts, and I'm not just talking about this. Combined with the other 4, with the other 3 indictments that he had. So they're combining them. And so the combination of all of that together adds up to 93 accounts. And that's a lot. That's a lot. And 345/666 Beast Incarnate, boy, he goes on he rants a lot. You already know he rants a lot, right? He goes on that 5 and 10 cent dime store of a that's what I call it, a 5 and 10 cent dime store of of his Twitter. Well, he used to call it Twitter, but he has his own thing called he calls it Truth Social, but let's face the facts. It's all lies social, so I call it. It's the 5 and dime. It's the 5 and dime store. Wannabe Twitter. Okay, so anyway, he goes in there and he rants on that. And as a matter of fact, you heard earlier, as soon as he was indicted, he got the indictment, then he went out, and of course, he does what he does best, and he just rags on the people who indict him. For instance, in this case, Fonnie Willis, who, by the way, is not playing. He met his match with her, and she is not playing around. And of course, she came out that night, and of course, she laid it out on the line on what was going on. So he went out on his social media, and you know, he rapped about it to the point where he actually blurted out that word rigor. Now we know what that means. We already know that means, you know, according to her, you know, we already know what that is. Now I would hope to think that he's not, well, I guess he is, you know, because nobody is that stupid that we can't read codes. You know, you read the code lines, the code words. Remember the Q&R people used to have this thing. Remember this? The Q&R people used to do this. Remember that? You know, I don't know if they're probably still doing that. But the Q&R people, that was their little signal, their little code, right? Do you know what this means in sign language? And don't take my word for this when I tell you this. You know what this means in sign language? Look it up. And when you come back, you say, wow, I didn't realize that. Thanks for telling me. You know what this means in sign language? I'm not going to say the whole word. I'll just say a-hole. That's what that means in sign language. All right. So that's what the Q&R people are. That's what they do. Anyway, so you know, he used those and we already know that's a racial slur. So now the N-word, it rhymes with the N-word, right? So now the rigor is going to be a household word again. So now they have a new name for what to people, for people like me or people who look like me, they have a new word, right? But, you know, it's going to be kind of stale because we already know what it means anyway. Also, a Texas woman was arrested. And you heard about this one. A Texas woman was arrested, been charged with threatening to kill the federal judge overseeing the criminal case against former, do I have to say it? Former occupant of the White House, 345/666 Beast Incarnate, Washington, with a member of Congress. Now, this lady, we're going to put her name out there because she deserves it. She deserves it. She's getting what she paid for. Abigail Jo Shrey of Alvin, Texas, called the federal White House, the federal courthouse in Washington, D.C., and left a threatening message using a lot of racial terms. And all of this went out to a U.S. District Judge Tanya Chutkan. And in the call, Shay told the judge, and this is what she said. She said, if Trump doesn't get elected in the 2024 election, we are coming to kill you. And she also threatened to kill Representative Sheila Jackson Lee, and Texas Democrat she's a Texas Democrat running for mayor in Houston, Texas. And so all of these things are coming up, and threats are coming all over the place. You know why? Because it's okay to do it. It's okay to do it. And so, but they did arrest this lady. They have her in custody, and I think they're going to hold her like for 30 days. I don't know what they're going to do with it after this, but I could suspect that there's more to come in this. People are being threatened because as this whole thing narrows down and it gets a little crazy and people start to understand, okay, you know, it's coming down to the wire. You know, a lot of people say, okay, he's got a place and a cell block. Now, he's going to be turning himself, excuse me, 345/666 Beast Incarnate is expected to turn himself in, and he has up until Friday the 25th. Him and the other 18 people that have been indicted, they have up to the 25th to turn themselves in. Not into a courthouse. They have to go to a jailhouse. And I understand this time around, 345/666 Beast Incarnate is going to be fingerprinted. And this time he's going to have mugshots. Now, I heard someone on Fox News. I don't really like it, but, you know, I turn to everyone to see what they're saying. I just want to see what everyone else is saying, but they don't say much. But this one particular anchor on Fox News compared to the arrest of Frank Sinatra, Johnny Cash, and Elvis Presley. Compare that to 345/666, saying that you see their mugshots because Sinatra and Johnny Cash and who else did I say? Elvis Presley, you know, they made it big, even though they had their mugshots. They elevated, their careers elevated. And they're saying, before you know it, when Trump get his mugshot, it's going to be on T-shirts and on dorm room walls and things like that. Listen, let me tell you something. First of all, he is not Sinatra, he is not Elvis, and he is not Johnny Cash. He don't even condescend to shine their shoes. So don't compare 345/666 to Frank Sinatra, Johnny Cash, and Elvis Presley. He doesn't compare. All right. Anyway, so that's what's going to be. He's got until the 25th to turn himself in, and so when that happens, that's what's going to happen. He's going to be mugshot, and he's going to be fingerprinted, and this is 4. And are there more to come? Are we expecting more to come? A 5th one, maybe, you know, but it just keeps rolling along like Old Man River, just keeps rolling along. Anyway, if you're just joining us, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live, and I want to bring to you some of the movies that I was telling you about. We have movies, and I always bring these movies to you each week, all right? Because they're my picks of the week. They're my picks of the week. Movies that you haven't seen in a long time now. You may be in an area where you may have weather that's, I don't know, keeps you indoors, or maybe it's a little too hot to go outside or whatever it is. It would be a good time to catch up on some movies. And if you're a movie watcher like I am, of course, you might want to watch these. And these are what I have for you to add to your bucket list of movies on what to watch this weekend. Me and my picks. We got a real good thing. Here we go. 1936. Oh, I love this movie. It's a black and white movie called My Man Godfrey. And those of you who go back in time and like these classic movies, stars William Powell and Carol Lombard. And that's on Turner Classic Movies. You can check that out. That's on Friday morning at 11:15 a.m. Eastern. And it's a nice comedy, and I think you'll like it. It's My Man Godfrey. Here's another one. If you like musicals, like West Side Story and all those kind of music, well, here's something that's not like it's not West Side Story, but it's a musical. I like musicals. And here's one that goes back to 1968 called Finian's Rainbow. It stars Fred Astaire, Petula Clark, and Tommy Steele. And that's on Turner Classic Movies. You can check that out. That's coming up on Saturday. And that's also in the morning. You don't want to wake up that morning. It's at 9:30 a.m. Saturday morning, this Saturday morning. Now, you don't have to wake up that early. If you're not inclined to wake up that early and you're a late sleeper on Saturday, which a lot of people are because, after working hard all week, they want to rest a little bit. But you can do, knowing that what time these movies are coming on, you can DVR them, right? We have that great technology where you can DVR and watch later. And these two movies, you can do that, DVR them, and then watch them at your own convenience, right? And while you're out there, on Turner Classic Movies, you go to the Turner Classic Movie website or on your TV and go through the program guide. You might see other movies that you may like or that I haven't mentioned, and you want to put that onto your bucket list. You could do that. That's why I will send you there. Also, when you're there on Movie on Demand, right? There's a lot of movies, a lot of old movies too that you can check out from A to Z, a classic movie, a lot of movies you can check out. You can go check those out, and they're there for you, for your convenience. You can watch those. And of course, they have a lot of great documentaries, sports, children's programs, and things like that. If you missed a sporting event, you can check it out the following day on demand, and sometimes without commercials, right? So again, let me give you these movies again. It's My Man Godfrey, William Powell, and Carol Lombard, Turner Classic Movie Friday. That's 11:15 a.m. Eastern. Also, Finian's Rainbow, and that's Fred Astaire, Petula Clark, Tommy Steele, the whole 9 yards. That's Turner Classic Movies, and that's Saturday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern. I hope you enjoy it. And I hope you enjoyed the show. I am going to be back tomorrow morning, and if weather's permitting, we're going to be doing it live from Grand Central Station, the lower level of Grand Central in the dining concourse. We hope that, so if not, we'll be doing it in the studio. Either way, we'll be here. Brian Camp will be here too with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update as well. And of course, I'll be back here next Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern for more Talk Back Live along with Brian Camp and Sports. And we hope that you'll be here too. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, have yourself a great day, a great morning, great evening, great afternoon, the whole 9 yards. And I will see you soon. Take care of yourself.
You've been watching Talk Back Live with your host Frank Allen. The producer is Al Dale. Technical assistant Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer Donna Stenke. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Talk Back Live.